So I often get a couple pairs of new glasses at a time, and this is a pair of glasses I just got. And one night, a few nights ago, maybe a week ago, I was talking to my daughter, and I don't remember what she did, but I was being a little firm and disciplinarian. And she looked right at me and she started laughing. And I'm like, why are you laughing? And she said, I can't take you seriously with those glasses on. Hey BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Bookmarch, and this is my Bookish week for Sunday. All right, let's see, November 26th. It is the Sunday after Thanksgiving in the U.S. And this was an interesting Thanksgiving for me because Thanksgiving typically means getting together with family, people you haven't seen through the year, and eating. So American Thanksgiving is basically turkey and all the sides, mashed potatoes, stuffing, gravy, vegetables, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, a bunch of stuff that you may not eat throughout the year, pies, pumpkin, everything pumpkin themed, pumpkin pie. We had blueberry pie, apple pie, whatever. So it's a food themed holiday. That was interesting for me because I was trying to plan ahead, like, okay, what am I going to be able to eat? I actually have to avoid potatoes at this point after my surgery recovery. So I could eat turkey, but turkey is great. White meat is perfect for me because of the high protein content and the low fat, but I can only eat a tiny amount of it. And I did have some sweet potatoes, and I had literally like a heaping teaspoon of mashed potatoes because I love them. And I am allowed to have a little gravy because everything has to be fairly moist. So I had all these restrictions, and I did okay until we got to dessert. And I'm supposed to avoid sugars, but I made my husband a gluten-free pumpkin cake with a maple cream cheese frosting. There was not very much sugar in the frosting. It was the sweetness mostly came from the real maple syrup. So I ate a little tiny bit of the cake with mostly frosting on it. And it was a tiny amount. I didn't get sick, I didn't feel bad, so I was satisfied that I got to have a little something sweet. And later that night, I ate some of the frosting like pudding. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I was fine. I didn't get sick or anything. So it made me realize, it scared me a little bit because I'm supposed to be avoiding it, supposed to be avoiding sweets and sugar. Fortunately, the frosting actually did not have that much sugar in it, pretty high in fat. But I realized, you know what? I could still push the limits a little bit and see how it goes. And if I don't feel bad, I could probably push the limits a little bit more. So I'm hyper aware, let's not do that. Let's embrace the good habits that I've embraced so far, that I've learned so far, and we'll move forward. Yes, I am still losing weight, and we will continue to do that. I say we, but it's all on me. It's all on me. I will continue to do that. So I am filming on Saturday, and so far so good. I'm very aware of the things I should be doing. I am eating healthy. I am trying to stay active. I've gone back to the gym, not regularly yet. I'm still working myself up, but doing really well. I'm feeling great, and Thanksgiving was basically a success. So anybody in the US that celebrated it, I hope you had a great holiday, and you're recovering from the turkey high or the turkey low or the tryptophan low, whatever you want to call it. And we can move on to Christmas from here. I don't know. I have issues with I have issues with going from Thanksgiving to Christmas fast. But we'll see. We shall see. But today I'm here to talk about books, right? We're here. This is a book channel, so I'm here to talk to you about books. I finished one book last week, and I am reading a couple more. So let me show you what those are. I finished the second book in the Frida Klein series, Tuesday's Gone by Nikki French. And I can't tell you quite a lot about this one, but I am honestly loving this series. This surprised me because I wasn't ever really going to pick this up. And I ended up picking up Blue Monday, which is the first one, weeks ago, and I read that, loved it. And I don't know why I wasn't going to ever read the series, but I don't know if I found it at a discount or in a library. I don't remember. But at this point, I'm hooked. So I finished Tuesday's Gone. It's a continuation of Blue Monday with the psychoanalyst Frida Klein, who kind of consults with the police department to help solve crimes and to help find murderers or killers or, that type of thing. And in this particular second book in the series, she is called in and the police department is trying to get her to formally sign some paperwork to be a consultant for the police department. And she is worried about a serial killer or a murderer from the first book. She is trying to solve a new crime of a man that has been found murdered and decomposing in a woman's apartment, and the woman has some cognitive disabilities and some mental health issues, and they're trying to determine, is she the murderer, or why is this decomposing body in her apartment? So it's a really thrilling, really dark, interesting, fast-paced novel, but Nikki French, who is a husband and wife writing team, writes so well that it's I would describe it as a literary mystery or a literary crime series, a literary police procedural. And the addition of Frida Klein as a character, as a psychoanalyst, is just an excellent technique. And I love her as a character. She is smart and intuitive, but flawed, and she's a loner, an introvert. There's so much relatable in her, but I just love the series. So I've got the next book, which is Wednesday, but they're all days of the week. So Wednesday is next. And I'll probably pick that up before the end of the year because I most likely won't be able to stop myself. So Tuesday's Gone. I highly recommend the Frida Klein series. It's just excellent. If you like mysteries, if you like the crime dramas, crime novels, it's a great series. I'm really loving it. I am so excited about this next book. These are my currently readings. I have 3. I'm not going to show you again, but I'm working on the unabridged journals of Sylvia Plath. Again, that's going to be a long-term project, so I may not talk about it anymore until I'm close to finishing it. But this book I'm so excited to be reading, kind of in honor of Nonfiction November. This is The Code Breaker by Walter Isaacson. The subtitle is Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing and the Future of the Human Race. This was a book that I was fairly intimidated to pick up, but really eager to, because I was so interested to read about her, Jennifer Doudna. She was involved, I'm assuming still is. I don't know her life story yet, but she kind of discovered and developed RNA sequencing, the workhorses of DNA and the cell. And she worked on CRISPR, about bacteria that eats viruses. I think that's what it is. And she had an enormous amount of influence on figuring out the coronavirus. This book is so good. It is so readable, so easy to get involved in, so well structured. And Isaacson portrays Doudna as such a relatable woman and professional and academic and scientist, brilliant, friendly, intuitive. I think I used that word twice in this video. But this is an excellent book, and I'm not even that far into it. Maybe, 75 pages. And it looks long, but there's a lot of notes and acknowledgments in the back. This is an excellent book, and I'm so happy to be reading this right now. I hope to finish it in November. I'd love to finish it by this next weekend so I can wrap it up, but we'll see. I picked up my 3rd Barbara Pym novel, and I am not sorry, because this is No Fond Return of Love by Barbara Pym. This is the story of Dulcie Mainwaring. She's one of those excellent women that's always helping others. She's not really concerned with what she wants or what is good for her or her desires. She's always thinking of other people. And she decides to go to a conference where she meets a friend, Viola. And there is also a doctor there, Aylwin Forbes. And it's kind of not necessarily a love triangle, but there's romance involved, there's misunderstandings, there's the friendship dynamic between Dulcie and Viola, and it's Barbara Pym. I just started it. I'm on page 11. It's funny. It is cozy, but well written. Barbara Pym's writing is just so well done. She was such an excellent author. So really looking forward to getting into this more heavily. This is another book that I would love to finish with the Codebreaker this coming week. So we'll see. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. Thanksgiving is over and I have plenty of time on my hands. We'll see. We'll see what my schedule opens up to look like. I have a book I'm going to be starting that I'm really excited about. So I'll be starting this early this week. This week? Yeah, I think so. Because it's a buddy read, and I'm not going to give you a lot of details, but it's a buddy read with Hannah from Hannah's Books. And this is Willa Cather's O Pioneers. This is the first in her, what is it called? It's a Pioneer trilogy, and I forget. There's a name for it, and I don't know it. I'll probably find it out on the internet, on the interwebs, and I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. But this is O Pioneers by Willa Cather. And Hannah and I are going to be reading and discussing this. A little bit on the back, Willa Cather's first great novel is the classic American story of pioneer life as embodied by one remarkable woman and her singular devotion to the land. Alexandra Bergson arrives on the wind-blasted prairie of Nebraska as a young girl and grows up to turn her land into a prosperous farm. I'm so excited to read another Willa Cather novel. This will be my third, and this will be the third in the Prairie trilogy. By now, I would have figured out what it's called. But I'm really excited to read this all by itself, but I'm also really excited to read it with Hannah because she's just wonderful to talk with and a wonderful buddy reader. So looking forward to that. Now, I bought a book. Yeah, I know, I unhauled a bunch of books, but I am not feeding my Sundoku habits. I am not going out and haunting library sales. I'm not really going to bookstores. I've been tempted, but I haven't because I'm very hyper aware of all the books I unhauled, and I'm still unhauling, freeing up some shelf space. I did that a little bit over here. You can see that. But I am buying a book here and there because these are books I really, really want to read. This one is a modern classic. It is Georges Simenon's Peter the Latvian, and this is his very first book in the Maigret series. Simenon wrote, how many books did he write? He wrote 75 novels and 28 short stories featuring Inspector Maigret. And this one is the very first one, published by Penguin, and I think all of his Maigret novels are published by Penguin. Simenon was born in Belgium in 1903 and died in 1889 in Switzerland. And he had lived there for the latter part of his life. This book was published in 1930, copyright in 1930, translated by David Bellos in 2013, I believe. But I am really looking forward to this. On the back, it says, not that he looked like a cartoon policeman. He didn't have a mustache and he didn't wear heavy boots. His clothes were well cut and made of fairly light worsted. He shaved every day and looked after his hands. But his frame was proletarian. He was a big, bony man. Iron muscles shaped his jacket sleeves and quickly wore through new trousers. He had a way of imposing himself just by standing there. His assertive presence had often irked many of his colleagues. I love that description of Maigret. I love that description of him. And the sun is coming out. But I am really loving the idea of picking these up. This is a very slim first novel. It is 162 pages. So another book that I've recently acquired that I'm really excited to put on my shelves to get to eventually. And there will be one or two more. And of course, Christmas is coming. Basically the only thing I ask for Christmas are books and socks. When you're an adult, you love getting underwear and socks for Christmas. And it's like you so appreciate them, right? When you're a kid, when you got underwear and socks, it's like, what the heck is this? I was ripped off. When you're an adult, you love underwear and socks. So that is it for me for this week. Let me know in the comments below what you think of any of the books I showed you, any of the books that I read or reviewed, the one book, or any of the books that I'm currently reading. A housekeeping note, any of you who won books in my giveaway, I will be shipping them this coming week. With the Thanksgiving holiday, shipping was all delayed, so I didn't want to take a chance of shipping any books last week. I will be shipping them this week. So once I do, I will let everybody know that I've done that, and hopefully I'll have some sort of tracking number. If you have won books, I had asked if you would contribute a little towards shipping, so I will contact you when I have those numbers, and you can figure out how we can get me my couple of dollars, if that. So thank you so much for taking part in that, any of you who have won books. Let me know in the comments below what you have to say, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, everybody. Bye.